Hey, it's Shane with GotRom.com. I want to talk about ass to grass squatting, meaning rock bottom squatting, loaded or unloaded. Is it good, is it safe, or is it an injury waiting to happen? And the answer depends on how you're doing it, and it depends on are you doing it loaded or unloaded. So rock bottom squat, ass to grass, unloaded, where your back kind of rounds a little bit, is perfectly fine and safe, assuming you have no lumbar pathology. It's okay to kind of let your pelvis kind of posteriorly tilt, your lumbar spine relax a little bit, get a little traction. Actually, it can be quite healthy. The only reason why you would not want your lumbar spine to round would be if you were loading it with a bar and you got to your end range and then it rounded, because any change in your spinal position under load is far worse than when it's unloaded. So that's kind of rule number one, is ass to grass squatting is okay unloaded. It's not okay loaded if your back rounds. You want to squat full range that you can accomplish with a completely neutral lumbar spine. The so-called butt wink, when you're kind of squatting and your pelvis kind of changes positions, it kind of goes from neutral to rounding under to a posterior pelvic tilt. That puts a lot of shearing force on your spine. And some coaches will say that's okay. My opinion is that the spine should not change shape, period, under load. So it shouldn't arch excessively and it shouldn't round at all. It should stay completely neutral. So those are kind of the two things to think about. Unloaded rounding is fine and even healthy. A lot of cultures around the world sit in that position with a little bit of lumbar flexion. Unloaded, that's fine. But loaded, it gets more dangerous, lumbar flexion does. And also, does the spine change shape? Does it change position? If it does, you want to squat a little bit higher and work on your flexibility of your hips and ankles until you can get lower with a completely neutral spine. So I would say that you want to squat higher until the day comes where you're flexible enough to squat ass to grass with a neutral lumbar spine. So that might be a long journey, but it's a journey that's worth it, so get to work.